Good afternoon, beautiful people. It's I, this means she, pure wisdom, and I come to speak with you today. I have been on an amazing adventure, enjoying experiences with different individuals from many different walks of life. And yesterday, I came across an individual that prompted me to share further on a topic that many of us needs at this time. And that topic is sacrifice. Amazing. So I came across an individual who was once a millionaire. They were a millionaire, and when they came across my path, literally overnight, they went from being a millionaire to being a bartender working for someone else. It baffled me. It humbled me in a way that I can't even begin to explain and put into words, but I'm going to go further into explaining because it went deep inside of myself and it was a reality point for me, and it'll be a reality point for you as well. If you're looking at this video, then this video was meant for you. As you're being taken to new heights, you need to be mindful of the lower parts of yourself to keep that part of yourself in check. So how did a millionaire become a bartender literally overnight? This millionaire had many businesses, owned many businesses, lived a lavish life, and once in their life, actually it was their second day when I came across them, that they were beginning to punch someone else's clock and someone else's time, and even as a bartender. The amazing thing about it, they still are servants. Because when you are of service and when you are a servant of life, you understand that your need here in this world is to learn, evolve, and grow and be of service and teach another of the things that you learn and evolve from, right? So this individual is still being of service, but they were humbled beyond belief. Now, how? Because this individual gave me their story literally in 30 minutes. And I'm grateful for it. But this individual gave me their story. And how do you become a millionaire? How do you become a millionaire? Being pure wisdom in around many individuals from many walks of life. I've been with the poorest of the poor people on the bottom of the totem pole, and I've been around the richest of the richest in this world. And what I found that we all have in common is that great sacrifice. What do we sacrifice for, and why do we sacrifice, and what is it that we need to sacrifice? So this particular individual sacrificed. They worked in Wall Street, they owned many businesses, lived around the world, lived in many different places, prominent places here in the United States. But this individual sacrificed to live that life. And from when the story was given to me, from the horse's mouth, the individual millionaire turned bartender overnight, what was given to me was, I sacrificed myself to live this lifestyle and to be blessed the way that God, my most high creator, blessed me. I sacrificed giving up the drugs, giving up the friends, giving up the hanging out. I sacrificed all of those things and put their time and energy and emotion and intention and passion into what it was that they were working with at that time. Now, mind you, this millionaire worked on Wall Street, owned many businesses, so been in many different sectors of the professional environment or corporate America per se. But this individual literally sacrificed. They gave me their story on how they sacrificed and got into it, right? They sacrificed all of the lower parts of themselves, the pride, the ego, the being around friends, the being around family, sacrificed it and isolated themselves to become better, right? And they became better. But the thing about it, when you sacrifice for God, God gives you what you want and gives you what you need, but there is a need for us to be mindful on when we sacrifice and we're given to hold it to the highest degree, because we understand it wasn't given to us for us to selfishly be boastful about the things that we acquire or attain. It is for us to help another individual see what sacrifice is all about. Seeing that when you sacrifice for your God and your most high creator, in return, your God give you everything that you want and desire. Remember, God said, I desire to give you a richly and abundant life beyond that all that you could imagine. So giving you the keys to the kingdom, wanting you to have all of that access, but you have to sacrifice the lower parts of you. So how did this bartender, because the bartender, millionaire turned bartender, lived that lifestyle, was a millionaire, lived the best of the best, been all around the world, seen all these different people, and then now, present moment, going second day, when I met the individual, second day going to someone else's job to punch someone else's clock and not the clock of their own, of having the freedom. Freedom is an amazing word, because when we sacrifice, God gives us the freedom to do his will for our lives. But when we drop ourselves down to the lower parts of ourselves, and each and every individual have a low to them, when we drop ourselves down to the lower parts of ourselves, we begin to operate in pride, in ego, in being boastful. All of those are results of pride and ego. Pride and ego is your worst enemy, and pride and ego comes before the fall. So we need to be mindful of the things that we sacrifice. And when we sacrifice those things and God give us the keys to our kingdom, then we get boastful. Remain humble, my dear. Remain humble, because how it's given to you, it can easily be taken away. Being humble. This millionaire turned bartender overnight, and the person was so full of life. Whenever our experience together came to an end, when the individual first came to me as a Pure Wisdom client, when the individual came to me, they was mad, angry, and frustrated with life. Do you hear me? This individual was mad, frustrated, and angry with life, but 30 minutes into our session, literally, that frustration turned into a smile. That anger turned into laughter. The whole atmosphere was changed just by allowing someone to see themselves on how they operate in pride and ego, because the lower parts of you will make you fall, and it will make you fall to a place that you don't like or you don't care for. So I hope this video touches you in a way. Remember, sacrifice. When you sacrifice all of you, when you sacrifice everything in you for the keys to the kingdom, everything that you desire is given to you. It falls into your lap. But then, as humans, we have to fact check ourselves. We have to take inventory of our lives, because when we take inventory of our lives, we're constantly reminding ourselves to do what? Stay humble. You stay humble, because the same way that it was given to you, it can be taken away. Pride and ego comes before the fall. So I challenge you today, and I say to you today, if you're reading this video, if you're watching this video, then where do you need to check yourself in your pride and your ego and remain humble, because the pride and the ego comes before the fall. You've sacrificed. You have sacrificed, and now it's time for you to enjoy the keys to the kingdom. But remember, while you are living the kingdom life and the kingdom mindset, remember to stay humble, because there's always pride and ego before the fall. And I'm getting pride and ego so strong right now, but stay humble and remain God's servant, because everything that comes through you is of you. So be mindful, love all that you are, be passionate about what you are and what it is that you're doing, and help change your life, whether it's one life at a time. It is I, Michelle, Pure Wisdom, and I love you guys. I love you so much, but remember, God loves you too. Be blessed.